Hey, this is Damon with the Black Business Directory with another installment of Conversations, where I get to interview great entrepreneurs in the Knoxville area. In this episode, this is a treat. In this episode, I'm speaking with PJ Alexander, owner of Purple Mouse Smart House. So this guy's a great entrepreneur doing some really creative things with tech and the Internet of Things. So, PJ, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Fantastic, Damon. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, no, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. So, you know, I told the people the name of your company, Purple Mouse Smart House. That's a lot.
A mouthful, right?
That's a mouthful. So why don't you break it down for the people? Tell people what you do and about your company.
Sure. Yeah, Purple Mouse Smart House is a smart home technology and automation company. What we do is we make people's property more intelligent and more in tune with their lifestyle. We come in and we do smart technologies like your assistants that you use on a daily basis, whether it be Siri with Apple or Google for Android people, or Alexa by Amazon. Normally most people have a smart speaker or something like that, or two in their house, or some kind of video doorbell. And that's where we kind of pick up and take it from there and expound upon that to include a myriad of things that you could do and bring into that ecosystem, like door locks and lighting and home theater systems, and we even go up to VR, virtual reality rooms. So we're just really into the technology, and we want to bring that to the home or residential space and kind of fortify those networks so that they can enjoy the same kind of things that higher-end commercial usually afford to.
Nice. So have you, I would assume, because you started this business, you are definitely technologically inclined. Have you always been that way? Were you that kid, or did you run into the tech space later?
Yeah, I was at an early age. I remember taking apart my first telephone. And when I say that, for any younger listeners, I'm talking about one of those dial rotary phones. Like, if you messed up, you had to start all over again with the number pattern. So I remember taking that apart, just trying to figure out how it worked, and always tinkering with stuff around the house, taking stuff apart to find out, how does sound come out of here? How does that work? So I've always had that kind of knack going for me, and I've always been fascinated by electrical components and technology and just how the internet works. I'm a big fan of it. It's what I do all the time. I live, breathe, and eat that stuff. So I've had other things I've done in my career. Like, I've been a musician, professional musician for, about a decade, and I went to school for music. And I think, those numbers, when you're a musician,
Mm-hmm.
you only have to count to four, right? When you're tech, you just got to count to one. Ones and zeros.
That's
interesting.
Some
kind of translation there. Yeah, I think there is some kind of translation there, but it's something that I've always been fascinated with.
Okay, so you're a trained musician as well. What instrument?
I play trumpet.
Okay. Oh, a trumpeter and
trumpet.
A tech nerd. Not a nerd.
That's right.
I'm a tech.
I'm a nerd.
I'm a tech guy
nerd,
too.
Definitely. I stand behind that. I'm a nerd. You can call me nerd all day.
That's an interesting combination, though. Honestly, I don't know if I would think that they're similar.
It happens more times than you think. All those musicians say, why did you go into tech after being a musician? And my canned response is, I just got tired of eating ramen noodles.
Well, there you go.
No. And so a lot of my people that I play music with also, at some age they've matured in their life. They have gotten so-called quotations, real jobs, and it's usually been in information technology, actually.
Now that I really dig, if I go surface level thinking about it, it actually does make sense if you think about the nature of an individual who learns an instrument, it's a lot of solitary exploration and, being alone as you explore that instrument and spending time over and over and over again doing the same thing or creating, right, having that etheric thought and then kind of making music happen by hitting these 5 notes, right, or twisting these 5 notes, but spending a lot of time in your own head. And tech people are like that too. If you think about coders or programmers, it's a solitary deal almost.
Yeah, it is. I think my niche in technology is more of a translator, because you do have, on one opposite end of it, you've got, the tech people who love their computers and their hardware and their software and their, graphical user interfaces. But then you put a real person in front of them, and it's a whole different story, right? And so hopefully my background and performance and my understanding of the technology can help bridge that gap where we can talk to normal people about it, right, and explain to them what's going on in layman terms.
Okay, so you got tired of eating ramen noodles, decided to open up the company. But were you already working in tech day to day, and then open up the company? Yeah,
so I still work day to day. It's just kind of, for lack of a better word, it's side hustle at this point. It's something I do on my nights and my weekends. My day gig is I'm the vice president of sales for a company here in Knoxville called Paxis Technologies. And we are a managed IT company, which businesses will outsource their help desk and all of their IT needs, whether it be hardware, software, projects, procurement, to my company. We take care of them on a monthly basis. They pay us a monthly premium, and they call us for whatever they need, information technology-wise. And, I like it so much, and I love the business to business aspect of that. A couple things happen. I've had this thought, and I've been executing things in my personal property just by cutting the cord and seeing how many things that I could get to be more in tune with us and a little cooler, if you would, just by talking to my house and automating some things. And I've been doing that for about 6 years. And what happened was it's normal for me to interact with my house and tell them to do stuff, but when other people come over, they're like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Oh, let me show you kind of what I've been doing here." She said, "What did you just do?" When we have, a dinner party or something, and I get the music to play in a certain area just by using my voice, or produce a smart screen or something like that. They kind of want to know what's going on, and then friends started asking me to come help them with their properties, whether it just cleaning up some cables, or I can't get this thing to work. And I started telling them more about, how I might do things if it were my property. And I kind of like the way that feels, because it makes everybody feel like they're getting the best effort by Purple Mouse, right? I'm going to do your house just like it was my own. I'm not going to shortcut anything. Here's the way that I would do it, and I suggest you do it that way as well when it matches up. And so that kind of launched that idea a couple of years ago, and I sat down with another person that I thought would be a good partnership in this, and that didn't work out for whatever reason. It was just probably wrong timing or something like that, and kind of let it subside a little bit. And then, COVID-19 hit us. And I don't think I was alone at this point. I thought it was a little crazy to launch a business during the middle of COVID, which we did on Small Business Saturday of last year. We started working through the summer on it. But it looks like I'm not alone. Like, a lot of people did that, whether it be out of need, like I don't have a job, I'm not considered essential, so I need to produce something, or just the time that you've got to slow down and be at home and think about things. And all the things that you ever wanted to do, it seemed like people use some of that time to do that, whether that was Home Depot projects or painting a room or moving or a new car. I was watching the market, and I thought it would be a perfect time because you're at home, okay? So let's make that home more in tune with you. Let's sit down and try to get your home more intelligent or smarter. And then a lot of people were working from home and figured out that their their networks, whether that be wired or wireless, were not strong enough to adequately host what they were asking it to do. Multiple Zoom calls a day. Not only, mom's at home in the kitchen on the call, but the kids are online at school all day long, and this is all video, really heavy internet traffic, and, whatever router you bought at Best Buy, just it's not going to cut it. And so everybody was getting really bad experiences. So that really drove a lot of demand over the summertime to get ready for online schooling coming in the fall of last year. And we do that anyway to fortify, the network so that you can add a bunch of smart devices onto that network. It's got to be solid. So we always start with a good solid foundation of your house, and kind of mimicking what a business would do in a residential space, because that is going to be part of your office now. We'll never fully go back to how it was before. So we're always going to have some people working from home, whether it be 2 or 3 days of the week, or, I think you're going to use that flex more often, and you'll need that to be a solid performing network for one. So that's one service we do. And then if you're going to add video cameras and smart doorbells and door locks and numerous smart technology devices. I mean, you've got appliances. I've got a smart sink right now. They all demand a little bit of internet traffic, so you've got to we kind of assess each home and look from the bandwidth that the internet service provider is giving them, and then we look at the way that it's distributed to the house to make sure that we don't have any leakage or any other spots that may deem a poor performance if we start adding a bunch of stuff to the network. That's how I kind of got started. Everybody's wanted better Wi-Fi and better networking.
Yeah, no, I think it's brilliant. And I mean, if you think about a great time to start was last year, even though it's counterintuitive, but everyone was at home and everyone was noticing, hey, my house really isn't up to date, or I need, like you said, the networking. Everybody's at home. Mom's on the call, dad's on the call. How many ever kids you got? They're on a call pretty much. Everybody's eating Wi-Fi. Everybody's on the network. If televisions are running. But just like the home decor sector, everybody's sprucing up the house because they're saying, hey, since I'm spending so much time here, let's redo these rooms. Let's do, this is the office space now. So I need more furniture or more comfortable furniture, et cetera. A desk, different desk, changing out rooms. Like we're seeing that boom on that side. I definitely see it on sprucing up the home on the tech side. Definitely. Whether it's smart energy, if people are upstairs and if everybody's downstairs, et cetera, maybe changing up, maybe being a little bit more efficient in how you utilize your energy usage at the house, or just all kinds of things, entertainment-wise, so, yeah,
it's everywhere,
definitely.
Yeah. And that market was already blossoming, and just like other things, other markets and kind of trends like video, conferencing and hybrid teleworking, COVID-19 and 2020 just accelerated that already. It was already starting to pick up pace, and it just really pushed it into overdrive to say, hey, we're doing this now.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I think it's brilliant to get into it now and do it the way you're doing. So people will come to your house and see unique things. What's the number one thing in your house that you did or have that everybody was like, hey man, what is that? How'd you do that? What is going on?
Well, it's a combination of things. I have, for my house, I started years ago, so it's a Google-based house. And I don't have any remotes really in the house. And so everything's controlled by voice. So wherever we go, or an app, right, there's not any clunky cable boxes or anything like that. You can't see my technology, right? It's blended into the house. So I don't have any really experience with home design other than my wife's impeccable taste. I just know if I do something, she's like, I don't want to see that wire. You know, everybody says a purple mouse has no tail, right? No tails. So I try to hide all that stuff. And your demarcation is where your internet service provider brings in a big modem, and that's how you get your internet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And usually those people put it in a place that's convenient for them to get in and out. And that could be anywhere. It could be in the fireplace, middle of the kitchen. I tend to move that to a closet somewhere and put all your stuff, all your tech stuff in the closet, just like you would at a company, right? You have a server room. We have a smaller home-built space for those things that you can go to specifically for troubleshooting and things of that nature, but you don't need to see it. And so people are always like, where is all the stuff coming from? Because it's kind of blended in. I'll play some music, and that's what gets a lot of people's attention. It just appears, and they're like, where are the speakers? And how did you just do that? Or if I want to watch something, I just put up my phone, and wherever I'm at, I can flick that or cast that to the TV, and it's all in tune with the voice and the app. So those are the biggest things: the smart displays and the music, the hi-fi music is what we call that. And so it's not some big AV closet with banks of receivers and all this power, energy sucking equipment. It's on the wireless network. And so it's available to everybody and all devices, which is really cool. It's really flexible.
Nice. I know a guy who it's annoying. It's a bit annoying, but it's his personality. But kind of my first, like, seeing how cool you can make some of the wireless lighting in the house. So he's an LSU fan. And when he's white, so he has purple and gold. His lights are normal lights, but when he's watching football and he'll hit something and it'll go into the LSU fight song and go purple and gold throughout while the song is happening during football season. It's very annoying. It's super annoying, but pretty dope.
Yeah, the lighting is something that's a trend. It's taken off. Like, it really affects your mood more than you think. Just like music, right? It really, instead of everybody's been going from just regular bulbs to LED bulbs because they last long. They don't produce a lot of heat, but the color of those bulbs is not very aesthetic to everybody's taste, right? People who are used to a warm white, LED is not something that they like looking at. It's a little cold and a little bluish, right? So the ability to change that, and we've done it several times here as well, just to match the mood of the day, whether it be Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, Halloween. It really has effect. And I have a music room that I go into as well, and I know that you don't play music when you can play music live. I guess those days are returning now, in a room that's got bright lights in it.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing along to a song or something, I'll turn them a blue or green or something like that, and it really kind of brings in the mood a little bit, matching kind of what you're either watching on TV or in tune to whatever music you're listening to. So all that stuff is just makes the room and the houses more cooler. It makes you want to spend more time in that room.
Absolutely. Man, that is great. So how did you come up with the name Purple Mouse? That's a unique name.
Purple Mouse. It is. We started going on this journey, and like I said before, I thought it was time to do it. I've always had this thought in my head, and I thought I need to do it now if I'm ever going to do it, no matter what the environment says about us, being here right now. I'm going to do it. And so I struggled with the name for a while, pared a list of about 10 names down to about 5, none of which I really loved. And, I'm a big believer in branding, and the name was important. Any business, modeling or plan, you have to have a name. And a lot of people say you can change it later, but I think it's important that you have a vision of what you want the company to be, and it starts with what people see as that brand. So we were stuck on a couple names. They just sounded kind of like, I don't know, off the shelf. It sounded like you purchased a website from, I don't know, just a wholesale dealer or something. It didn't have any, didn't have that it factor. And so I'm sitting there with my daughter, and she's on her iPad, and I just, hey, what do you think? We should name this company, or we're thinking about starting. And this is what it does, and here's what we're going to do. And she just, without even breaking a sweat, just kind of glanced up from her iPad just for a second, said, Purple Mouse Smart House, and then went right back to her iPad. And I was like, oh, my goodness. I love it. I'll be right back. And immediately I started getting images and logos together, and I started putting stuff together, and I would take it before my audience of my wife and daughter and son, and a couple times, they sit me back to the drawing room. Yeah, I don't like that. And finally came out with something everybody loved. And I used them a lot because my wife is kind of my target audience. It's generally women between the ages of, 25 and 60 years old that will, ask me for my services. It's kind of a do-it-for-me services. And us as men think we can go do everything ourselves, so I'm not depending on men to be calling me. I depend on their wife to call me when they mess it up. It's like, you just better go ahead and call Purple Mouse Smart House. This ain't working.
Your job is the Saturday, the Monday morning. Hey, can you fix what my husband just did this past week?
Yeah. None of the TVs work. All the lights stay on all the time. I know it is. So, but I watch them, how they absorb stuff, especially during the pandemic, and what format, what media, what venue they're in to be attracted to a brand and to buy in, to read more, to click, and to inevitably purchase or procure services or products. And so I modeled after that. I wanted a nice, clean brand, and I thought it was a mouthful, but I thought it was brandable. Matter of fact, I'm working on my first infomercial, and I'm going to kind of steal a little bit from Liberty Mutual. You ever seen that commercial? They're trying to, the guy's trying to say, and he keeps messing it up, right?
Liberty Bibbity,
Yeah, that one, yeah. And so I thought, I could get a bunch of people and flash some cards, say your name, say your birthday, what's your favorite football team, now say Purple Mouse Smart House, and watch them just absolutely obliterate it and say, nope, that's what I want. And then after that, it'll be, it'll be ingrained in people's in, I think, along with that blazing purple color. I thought was a great brand for what we do.
Nice. I think it's brilliant. I even have some marketing ideas on that infomercial. So if we can talk about that offline. But no, that's
we're checking you out.
That's brilliant. But no, I like it, man. I think going to your daughter, that was, even though you didn't mean to do it, you were like, let me throw it out past her. And kids are purists, and they catch things that that we will roll around and intellectualize in our brains, think through 42 times. You had a list of 12 names. You could have went to her to begin with, and it would save you hours and days, right?
Right. Yeah, you're right. I have no idea where she grabbed that from, but I know she successfully named several pets of ours, and they've been very unique names. She's not naming our pets like socks or muffins or anything like that. She comes up with some really creative stuff. So there was intention behind it. It definitely was. It was kind of see what happens here. But I bet I'm gonna go back to you earlier next time.
Good stuff. So launched in the middle of COVID. Started marketing then, and so are you seeing an uptick in sales? Things good? Keep going. Ready to pour gasoline? I would assume you're ready to pour gasoline on it because you're at a point where you're creating an infomercial.
Yeah. I got a lot of ideas. I'm an idea person. I need somebody to help me with some of the execution, but I got a lot of ideas. I am ready to do as much as I can do well. And to explain that further, I think that's something I said, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it right. It needs to be at a certain level of installation and look. It needs to always command that sort of attention. I'm not the guy that's going to install a Ring doorbell for $100 for you, and that's not what we really do, right? So we're looking for custom integrations and people who want to live like Iron Man, right? Want their house to be
I like it.
them. And now I will come and install a doorbell for you, but that's not what we're after. That's not our target market or audience. And so, I spent a lot of time learning about different things when you start a business. I've never started a business before, so I read. I wanted to know everything myself. I did not want to outsource things to HR or anybody to do taxes or anything like that for me. I wanted to read it and know it myself. And now that I know that, now I want to get somebody else to do it. But I wanted to fully understand that, so I took a lot of that time during COVID to do a lot of reading, a lot of late night reading, and just trying to find out more about my industry. Wanted to make strategic moves early on that I wouldn't have to go back and backtrack, that were really insightful, right? I'm going to pick the right credit card, pick the right bank, I'm going to pick the right finance software, all that stuff. And then in 2021, I started pushing some things through social media and just follow up on having conversations with people, and it's quickly accelerating to most nights and weekends now.
Nice. Sounds like you have a great roadmap.
Hope so.
Definitely.
I hope so. I hope to bring on another person to help me. Like I said, I do have an 8-to-5 job, and so I've already brought someone on who's going to help me run the operations, and spend about 21 days with that person, showing them the ins and outs of kind of what we're looking for and the way we want to do things. And so I'm really excited about that. That'll help get things going at a pretty good speed for us.
Nice. So let's do this. I mean, we could be on here forever. I mean, I've got so many questions, but I don't want to be 2 hours here like, oh, all they did talk nerdy tech stuff. But let's tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, good question. The website is Purple Mouse Smart House. Say that in front of a mirror several times and you'll get it. .com, purplemousesmarthouse.com. We're on the World Wide Web, of course. We have a Facebook page as well. Please like that if you want to see updates about what's happening there. We're on Instagram. Small presence on Twitter, and working on kind of a YouTube channel. So just look for, and LinkedIn as well. That's the way people are finding us. If you want to call us, the number is 865-551-9080. And the best way to start working with us or learn more about what we do is to go to our website and schedule a smart property assessment. And I use that term because most of our work is residential, but we are starting to entertain some small niche commercial properties, mainly like retail space or small restaurants that want a better Wi-Fi experience for their customers and something that they can market with. And they also want, a better way to manage their properties, whether it be smart locks or access control or video cameras, things of that nature. We're starting to do more of that. But the best way to do is to engage with us is you can chat with me online. It may take me a little bit to respond, but I will respond to you. Schedule a home assessment, and there's a scheduler on the website. I think you can get to it from Facebook as well. But yeah, just start engaging with us and ask any questions you want up front. 30 minutes of chat is definitely free. And we like to interview people just as well as they interview us to make sure it's a good fit before we actually come out. Because we spend about an hour at the assessment. And we're crawling around in basements and subflooring and looking for ways that we can route technology through your home. So it's a bit of a deal once you engage with us. And the installation day takes a while, right? I usually tell people to leave their smart devices behind and go to the park and take an internet break. I'll call you when I'm finished, and we'll go through everything.
Please leave the home. Just get out.
Please leave.
Don't follow me around.
Well, Well, so I just came from one today, and, everyone's a little different. You try to do the best job you can planning everything out and do a really good job on the assessment to ask the right questions. But you truly never know until you get in there and start installing to see how a house is going to behave to what you're asking it to do.
I'm sure you've run into some very interesting things. I'm certain of it. Well, this was great, man. I really do appreciate you setting aside some time. Geez, tongue-tied a little bit. Setting aside some time to have this conversation. And, again, folks, this is PJ Alexander, owner of Purple Mouse Smart House. See how I did that? I do it slowly instead of fast. But yeah, you can find them online, and you can find them on their social media handles, as well as finding the Black Business Directory at KnoxvilleBlackBusiness.com. And our social media handles are the Knoxville Black Business Directory, and on Instagram we are #BuyBlackKnox. And then check out our our sponsors as well. We have a lot of sponsors that we've partnered with to make this directory a success by promoting Black-owned businesses in Knoxville, Tennessee. And so thank you all for listening. The show is brought to you by our sponsors again. And check those sponsors out. Check out the website and support the Black businesses in Knoxville. And so with that, you guys have a great evening.